Hello and welcome to this What's New session. My name is Rasmus Wolf Jensen and today's topic will be B1 Usability Package, where we'll be looking into the 4.0.1.0 release. First new feature I will show you is a very important and highly asked for feature in the universal function macro. And before we go into it, let me show you a little standard Business One. We know a lot of pop-ups in Business One, like when we do a delivery date and change it, we'll be asked if you want to change them on row level. We have, when we press add, you might be asked, are you sure you want to do this? And like payment terms, where we change the payment term and ask if they want to put in the associated payment term settings. The commands are all in good intent, but as people get more advanced using SAP Business One, they know that they always need to press yes or always need to press no here. They don't care about this message. They just want to add their invoice, and they know that they are changing, or they don't want to change them at all anytime. So what we are now introducing is to get rid of these. And the way we do this is using a new command called autopress next pop-up. Let me explain this in more detail. So here we have the issue where you actually, when you press the add of an invoice, you will actually be asked if you want to continue or not. And you most of the time just want to say yes all the time. So what you can do is you can make a validation system saying every time we press the add button, let me just run a macro called autopress next pop-up, and that will result in that this window will simply not come up. Next we had our combo box, and again the message. In this case, let's just say yes to this. So we can simply go in and put up our combo box select on the item, and again, just with one single line of macro, we can get rid of the message altogether. The final one was the delivery date, and we want to get rid of that as well, and all we need to do is use a key down of the tab key in order to get rid of this. And the autopress keyword can actually tell us if we want to press yes or no, so we can actually extend it by giving it a parameter saying we actually want to press the no key. So you can imagine this as a very, very powerful tool that you can use also in your macros when you're opening and closing other windows. It will stack all these different autopress commands up, and it's basically just put up an event happening just before the message actually comes up, and it will autopress it for you. Moving on, another highly requested feature is in B1 Printer Delivery, where we now have the option to take our emails and choose if we want to use plain text or HTML. So here we had the normal message and resulted in an Outlook message looking with plain text, nothing special on the text, while I might not be a HTML wizard here, but you can see that I've used HTML in the body here with some new headings. I'm doing some italic work here. I'm changing the color. So you basically have the full control of HTML now if you turn it into HTML here, and you can make more professional looking emails if you want to. Next up is Master Data Manager on the Business Partner Master Data Manager, where we now have, in the past we had the option to change all these different fields or not change it at all. But a few things was possible to remove values as well. So for example, if you had a shipping type and you want to get rid of that shipping type, you don't want the shipping type at all. We now provide things like that for shipping type. You can see this are the new remove values that will be at the end of the lists. So you can do it for shipping type, you can do it for projects, you can do it for factory indicators, dunning terms, BP priorities, and VAT groups. Next up is recurring invoices, where if you search for recurring invoices, you got the normal list of recurring invoices. And in the past there was this key visible, but we didn't take advantage of it. Key visible is simply that the list stays on and opens up different versions of the invoice templates. We now fully understand that this, so we can have it open just as the normal feature of Keep Visible in the sales and purchase documents. Moving on to the toolbox, where we have done a lot of work in this release. First of all, for business partners, we have mandatory fields in the system, but because contact persons, bill to and ship to addresses are in a special format that mandatory fields can't work with, we now have added new toolbox options for saying it's mandatory to have at least one contact person, it's mandatory to have a bill to address, it's mandatory to have a ship to address, and for all of them you can choose if it should be a strong error, so you're not allowed to go on, or if you want to have it as a warning with some continue anyway pop up for you. Also, in the toolbox on the document side, we have in the past had the two features say go to new sales document and go to new purchase document, which essentially just say when you add a new document to, for example, a sales order, you will actually go back to that document after add instead of being ready to add a new one. Some people prefer that, some people don't. So we gave the option to have it in the documents. But some people wanted to say, okay, I want to go to new for the sales order, but I don't want to do it for the invoice or something like that. So what we have done now is we have some small buttons next to the two options, where you can actually go in and specify which of the sales documents do you actually want to have the go to new feature on, and which purchase documents do you want to have the go to new feature. Another feature for the toolbox on the document side is the new opening and closing remarks icon. It's a new option here, and what it simply does is if you have a sales order or any of the sales and purchase documents without any opening and closing remarks, you have the order exactly as you normally have it. If you instead go on and put in some opening or closing remark, you will actually get an icon indicating that there are opening and closing remarks on this document. So it's a visual indication of what happened. It's just a simple little icon next to the service item type. And also you can actually press that icon to go directly to the opening and closing remarks. So these were the most important features we wanted to share with you for 4.0.1. For the full list of all features and bug fixes, go to boyum-it.com/sbo, where you can also download the new version. This concludes this session. For training material, please go to service.boyum-it.com/education, or if you want a free demo of the product, go to license.boyum-it.com/B1UP. If you want to contact us, you can do it either by our sales email or our support email. Thank you for attending.